Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Monday, October the 30th. The year's 2023. Let's talk trading. Your trading. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. Let's talk about your trading, because I always remind people that it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. But sometimes people don't really understand what I mean by that. And it encompasses a whole lot. I mean, a whole lot, you know. So the question is, sometimes it starts with the why. It's like, why are you trading? Well, the obvious answer, most people are going to say, well, to make money. But sometimes it's a little bit more than that. They might want to pay some bills. They might want some extra cash. They might want to strike it rich and drive a Lambo. I mean, but the why sometimes affects the how. Because if you're trading with money that doesn't matter to you, you're going to approach it one way. But if you're trading with your hard-earned dollars that you really can't even afford to lose, that's going to put a whole different mindset on it. And that mindset is going to affect your trading. It's going to affect how you trade. So you really have to be honest with yourself about the why. You know, is it a hobby? Is it a source of income? You know, maybe it's an obsession. Maybe it's an addiction. So you just really have to figure out the why. And then, you know, you have to have something that you can measure. And it's usually a goal. And in our case, it would be an amount of money. And it's like how much you want to make for the day, for the week, for the month, for the quarter, for the year. You get to set your own metrics. You know, a lot of times people ask me, I go, I can't answer that. You've got to answer that. And it's not a cop-out. You know, I'm not you, you're not me. So our wants, needs, and desires are totally different. So you might want to sit down, if you haven't already done so, and figure out really how much do you want to make in a day or in a week. And then if you don't make it, what do you do? And if you do make it, what do you do? So that's kind of clear. Now, we talk about trading plans and we talk about goals. Thing is, though, you got to hold yourself accountable. And that's huge. I mean, you got to look in the mirror and give yourself an honest evaluation. Sometimes you might want to talk to your spouse or your partner. You might want to talk to your buddies. But somehow there has to be a level of accountability. Because so you know when you go off course, when you go off script, off plan, but maybe you don't want to admit it, but you really have to. Now, of course, some trading days are better than others, and I think I talked about it in last night's video, that you can't expect to win all the time. You have to learn that losing's just part of it. And if you try to win every trade, chances are there's going to be that one trade that inflects on you. And meaning as soon as you put that trade on, it goes the other way, might jump a few points or a few pips, and you never get an opportunity to get out of that trade with a profit. So you have to see what the market's doing in terms of, is it resisting your trade? And you have to determine, are you resisting the market? Are you trying to resist the market? Market wants to go one way and you're trying to resist it. Guess what? You're going to lose. You can't, it's kind of like stopping a freight train with just a smile. I always like that one lyric. I think it's out of a UFO song. And then, some days everything you do turns to profit. I mean, you could just accidentally click the mouse, have a twitch, and next thing you know, you're up 3 or 4 pips. So you just have to see how your day's going sometimes. Sometimes it's tough sledding, sometimes it's just easy peasy, right? But, all of us have a part of us that we can't see. It's that hidden self. Other people can see it, but you can't. So, but sometimes you can get an inkling that something's there. You just can't see it. But it's because, for whatever reason, you know what you should do or shouldn't do, but you're doing the opposite. There's something inside that's causing it. It could be something that happened to you years ago. It could be part of your personality. I mean, I'm a rule breaker. I break rules all the time. I think rules are for other people, not for me. It's just part of my attitude. I hate waiting in lines, but I just know me. So by knowing that, it's like, okay, I know that, a certain number of my trades every day aren't going to be on script. But since I know that, I can say, okay, pay attention. Are you getting ready to go off script? Why? Do you really need to? Don't, just do whatever it takes. Put notes up on the screen. But you really have to discover if you have something that's blocking you, impeding you, causing you to go off your plan. And the other thing is, a lot of times people ask me, well, what trading book should I read? And I go, none. I said, read psychology books. Learn about your mind. Learn how to control that sucker, how to train it, how to make it do what you want it to do. There's so many people I run into, and they talk about somebody made them angry or this makes them angry. And I go, no, you're choosing to be angry or annoyed or whatever. And to me, it's all about learning your own personal power. Because if you allow somebody to, quote unquote, piss you off, or quote unquote push your buttons, that's on you. So I say, if you've got buttons, cut the wires so they don't work anymore. But so many people don't want to accept the fact that they are in control of their reaction. And if they're not in control of it, well, then all bets are off. But they choose their reaction. It's, in fact, I heard a radio talk show host was talking about Viktor Frankl's book. The guy that was in the concentration camp and wrote that book. It says, if you don't have hope, you die. Those people that died didn't have any more hope. But that's part of how you're reacting to your external circumstances. And see, when you get mad, when you get ticked off, it's when your inside world isn't matching the outside world. Meaning, in your head, in your mind's eye, what you think, what you believe. Call it the should. If you think something should do it and it doesn't, and you get ticked off, it's only because of that should. You put a trade on, you think it should go your way, right? You want it to go your way. Why isn't it going your way? and then you get all ticked off and want to yell at the screen. And you know, some of the traders, you know, I say it a lot, you know, I yell at the screen, and I laugh at myself for doing it because they can't hear me. But the thing is, you really have to learn about yourself and why you're doing what you're doing. And that way you can get control of your emotions, because you don't want to have emotional trading. So that's all about your trading. I hope, you know, maybe one of those things rang true. And if none of them rang true, then perhaps you're on your way to a very successful, you know, trading career. But if any of those things rang true, then you're just going to have to sit down with yourself and then figure it all out. So let's take a quick look through the charts here. Right now, we are 45 pips below the monthly open, and we're still in that lower wick zone on the monthly. Take a quick look at the weekly. We've crossed above the open by 12 pips. My open here is at 21.8, and it just seems to be zigzagging across that line. You can see we still haven't hit the weekly pivot, and we've got 1-2 open gaps that have not filled. Notice we crossed into the opening range for the year below that 2101 level, but we shot back up. So anybody trading that horizontal line could have been paid off both directions. We are putting in the range for the week, and we are in the opening range here for the month. We are only 11 pips, let's see, above the daily open. We're 44 above the yearly open. We're still in that inside bar range from 6 days ago. Notice we're in the upper range or upper wick zone of the previous day. That's a big wick. And as I said yesterday evening, there's a lot of inside bar action on the daily, weekly, and monthly. 52 pip range at the moment with 4 pairs over 100. Once again, a slightly anemic day. Looks like the dollar yen's inching back up to that 150 level. When it gets there, I'm thinking about shorting again. Oh, and notice we just crossed into the launch pad. Once again, in the last 4 hours, we've crossed the weekly open. Looks like price wants to launch the last 2 minutes here. So, it just moved up another 2 pips. Red rats, get ready. That is a huge return bar there on M15. We've taken out the daily pivot here, approaching R1 at 2152, call it 53. Bambino flex indicators indicating short. Okay, we missed the monthly by 4 pips, missed the weekly right now by 15, but we've taken out the daily, and you can see we missed H4 by a pip. So we've got an H4 above and below to be taken out. So, fellow traders, I hope something I said helped you. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me, leave comments. And when you're trading, I want you to always remember and never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.